Right on top of it, I had the storm ready to show you the one I thought would be the first one to get a warning, and indeed it has. First up, we'll show you the watch. Storm Prediction Center has issued a tornado watch. Goes until 6 p.m. for areas just to the south of Omaha, into the Kansas City area and parts of Missouri, and up into Iowa, including Des Moines. Tornadoes, 1.5-inch hail and 70-mile-per-hour gusts, the threat. Now, you see there's lots of lightning, including even a little bit back in here into the blue where we have winter weather conditions. There's the first warning down to the southwest of the Omaha area. And we'll probably get a lot more as we get a little bit of afternoon heating. The instability is limited on this in this situation. There's a lot of these storms that have little lavender cores in them. So we've been getting some reports of half-inch hail. We'll probably be getting more reports of damaging winds and maybe even a tornado. Can you see this one, Otoe County? You see how there's a little bit of an appendage, a hook echo trying to form on that one. So severe thunderstorm warning there as this storm heads off toward the north and the east at about 40 miles per hour toward the area of about Syracuse, Nebraska. So that one, as you can see, lavender core, the body of the storm, and it's trying to wrap itself around, spiral around in what we call a supercell thunderstorm. The whole thunderstorm updraft rotates. Now, part of the reason for the rotation source today would be pretty strong surface low that's a little bit oblong there from around the Omaha area down to Concordia, Kansas. Ahead of that, in Iowa, it's not very warm, but it's warmed up into the 70s in Missouri. So I think it's going to be a pretty active day into Missouri. And then all the way down into Texas, you can see the cold front pushing down into there. Ahead of that in East Texas, it's even warmer still, but the strongest of the upper air forcing is pretty limited. Can you see this little bowling ball of a low spiral its way eastbound across Kansas and southern Nebraska? So that Texas area isn't getting too much of the upper forcing. So probably the biggest tornado threat is going to be up in that Missouri, Iowa area where we do have the tornado watch. By evening, though, we could get thunderstorms, probably a line of them push all the way into Illinois and maybe east of the Mississippi River into Kentucky and Tennessee and northwest Missouri, as well as ahead of the front there in East Texas. Tornado threat, though, I've given a 4 for parts of Iowa and Missouri, 3 then down into parts of the storm system farther down to the south. So those 3s and 4s mean 40% chance of a tornado within 50 miles in these areas. Taking a look here at one time evolution of how this may all unfold. As you see now, the storm's mostly in the computer model over in Nebraska, but as we head in, say, to 5 o'clock, the storms will have rolled as a line through the Des Moines area. And the embedded storms, you see those little red cores inside of that, so those could mean the threat for tornadoes. And then by late evening, 10:30 or so, you see the storms beginning to weaken by the time they get to the Chicago area. So that's likely to be the case here. The storms not out of the woods for Michigan and Indiana, central parts of Kentucky, Tennessee for damage and gust overnight, but less of a tornado threat. And farther south, by 5 o'clock, probably a line of thunderstorms pushing from Texas into parts of those areas of Louisiana and northwest parts of Mississippi. So a stormy day, second season. You hear us talk about it. It's these kind of weather systems that give us a chance, even in the late fall, for tornadoes. Mark?
Thanks, Dr. Forbes.